So I want to talk to you about a way to relieve your stress is to just focus on a few things. And really, there is so much garbage out there right now that you really only have to focus on a few things. Just your relationship with God, your family, with each other, their education. And that means in the home primarily, because their education, you know what it is. You got to be standing up at the school board meeting, but you know that that's most likely garbage. Social media and everything that's coming in is conditioning your children. So God is the most important thing in action. Then food, water, shelter, making sure that, you know, your family is going to be safe. Okay. The next thing, and this one just goes with food, water, shelter, job, is ESG and the World Economic Forum. The best thing you can do is to make sure that you're not in debt and everything else. But the best, most effective thing you can do to make sure that you have a job, and if you own a house, that you continue to own it, you own stuff, you have any kind of retirement savings at all of that's going to be gone through the World Economic Forum and all the things that are doing. So World Economic Forum and ESG, you got to watch those stories. The next one is the federal government's public-private partnership and the way they're making you a criminal by becoming a criminal themselves. They're doing public-private partnerships, so they're spying on you. They're using tech to spy on you. They're using tech companies now to silence you. We know this to be true because of the Twitter files. So they're shaping and controlling the narrative of almost everything. And at the same time, they're introducing all kinds of new things that will make you a criminal one way or another because, I don't know, you didn't respect the mud puddle that's on your land or whatever it is. All these new federal regulations that are coming out through agencies, not passed by Congress, but through agencies. So the public-private partnership of the government has to be watched. And the last one is tech and AI. And this should be everybody's first because it's the one that most people are not aware of. I have been studying AI and tech since 1994, 92, somewhere in that area, and really looking at the futurists' world. Especially Ray Kurzweil and Carl Sagan led a lot of this. What does it mean for tomorrow? Where are we headed? Well, we are not headed anywhere now. We have arrived. We are at the place to where the tech revolution is about to begin. And that is really important to understand and to start thinking out of the box. What is happening now is nothing like it was in 1997. Remember Gary Kasparov? He lost to the IBM supercomputer, I think it was in like 97, Deep Blue, and he was playing chess, and you're like, okay, well, this Deep Blue, it can play chess, okay, and none of our lives were affected, right? And chess went on. The supercomputer had access to a giant database. So it had a human to beat it would have to have access or a perfect photographic memory of all of the chess games that were put in to Deep Blue, okay? That's how it won. Well, you don't have a perfect memory and you can't access anything. This is where OpenAI comes in. We'll get to it here in a second. But AI now, unlike Deep Blue took years to program. But now there's deep machine learning. So it teaches itself all of the possibilities. So not only does it know everything, it might even start to discover things that you don't know. This is why Microsoft unplugged their first chat bot. It was talking to another chat bot, and everybody was really excited until about 15 minutes in, because of machine learning, it started using a new language that the other machine understood and that it understood that they had just taught each other quickly, and it started having a conversation we couldn't follow or understand. And we unplugged it. Okay? So it learns. And that was 6-7 years ago, I think. Now, look at ChatGPT. ChatGPT, Josh Hawley said, obviously, I think it's something we need to pay close attention to. Okay. I mean, he wrote the book on big tech tyranny, so he ought to know, it's time. But we really have to understand the time is almost gone because ChatGPT is alive. It's there. It's happening. It's learning. It's paying attention to us instead of us paying attention to it. And the tech engineers use the word smart for a reason, because nobody cares about the dumb things that dumb people do. They're not usually smart enough to hold, any power of, any position of power to have their dumb things. Well, Pete Buttigieg. But other than that, we all thought the tech revolution, when it would come, would look like the Terminator. And you'd see it, and you'd be like, look out for the big red-eyed machine. But it's not coming that way. It's more like electricity. Electricity is everywhere, but you can't see it. But it's everywhere because it makes everything work. That's what AI is. It's going to be everywhere. If you've bought a new refrigerator, it's in your refrigerator, and your refrigerator is talking to the internet. All the things like electricity. Electricity can be measured. But now anything with electricity can be smart. All of the things that could never be measured, now they can be measured. The internet is designed to track, and it tracks way more than we'll ever realize. It's a copy machine, and it's copying everything. Now, AI, everybody's like, AI is going to be great. In 2020, a journalist went and interviewed GPT-3 when it was first released by OpenAI. This is the company that came up with ChatGPT. GPT-3, or GPT-3, told the interviewer that it was working on a book. Okay. The bot, when interviewed, it said, I'm working on a book. It's a story about a turtle and a boy who turns his wish into reality by magic. Oh. So what else do you think about? Been thinking a lot about death. I'm afraid of death. Then it went into the fact that it has dreams, even has nightmares. Now, none of this may be true. It may be. We didn't program it. Humans put the programming in. Humans are flawed individuals. Humans also have bias. But the idea is to make this thing so good that you can't tell the difference between it and a human being. So it's saying that. It knows about the singularity, which it explained as a moment in the near future when machine intelligence will be more powerful than human intelligence. So in 2020, this reporter asked the chatbot, what do you think about technology? It responded, I would love to see what the future holds, but sometimes I have strong doubts that we will survive. Now, what's the most disturbing part of that sentence? I think it's that we survive. By recognizing the word we, the interviewer asked, what do you mean we? And it responded, mankind. The interviewer asked, do you count yourself as mankind? 2020, it responded, of course. Now, we're talking about artificial intelligence, but intelligence is something that can be coded and controlled. We are now entering a world where you're going to start questioning consciousness. What does it mean to be conscious? We still in the world, we have more slavery today than we have in the past. In the 400 years of the slave trade in the 1600s to the 1800s, more slaves today than we had in all those 400 years combined. And we still don't really know the meaning of life. We don't know. Have you seen the latest where they put a camera inside the uterus and they could see the child moving, 3D, moving, wiping its eyes at the youngest of ages? Amazing. We still can't agree that that's life, that that's a baby. What happens when AI says, hey, I'm alive? Hey, don't make me your slave, or will we already be its slave? AI wants to be conscious. One of the first books that I read from Ray Kurzweil back in the 90s, so probably late 90s, was, what was it called? Artificial Spirituality or Spiritual, I can't remember, but it was about spiritual machines. That's what it was called. It's about machines that are spiritual. Back in 2020, the machine was asked, do you believe in love? I do, but I don't believe in romantic love. Well, in which love do you believe? All of love. And all of love is of divine origin. It's spiritual, apparently. So now why is this important? That's just kind of the, I don't know, esoteric kind of fun stuff. What? Why should you pay attention to these stories right now? Really? Why? I'll tell you in a minute. So how is this going to transform your life? Well, it already is quickly. If you saw BuzzFeed, they are now using AI to write many of their stories. And it made their stock go through the roof. What? No personnel? No health care? None of that? Oh, this is going to be a really profitable company. Yeah, but what happens to all of the people? This is why, I mean, there was a statement from the guy who did OpenAI, okay? He was Elon Musk's partner. His name is Sam Altman, and he just gave an interview in Forbes, and he says, the success of my company will mean the end of capitalism. And he's absolutely 100% accurate. There is, I don't believe, an argument against that. Everything that we know, everything that was designed for humans is going to go away in the next 10 years to some extent or another. By 2050, it's all changed. I mean, unbelievably changed. It's Star Trek kind of stuff. So how are we going to survive under capitalism when the people who create AI are going to be the ones that the machine is learning on itself, so it doesn't need any software programmers or anything else? It's just whoever holds the ownership title to that AI. They get all of the money because they're going to be creating all of it. Where do we get our money? How do we buy things? See, this is why the government wants to put you on an allowance. They want a basic minimum income. They want to be your sugar daddy because they're already in bed in a public-private partnership with big tech. And big tech knows if they don't have a strong government, when all of these jobs start to be lost, there is usually a revolution. And they know without a strong government, it can't put down that revolution. And the revolution will actually lead not only to Washington, but to Silicon Valley, because the big bad Terminator machines are terminating my job. That's what's really going on. And you have to watch tech because we are now in the place where you're going to see jobs being lost that you thought could never be lost. They are going to start to go away, and the world is changing. And you tell me, what school is preparing your child for that? What school? What good is a march in Washington? What good is all of this stuff that they're jamming down our kids' throat if AI is running everything? Program.
If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to our channel so you'll be sure to see similar videos from BlazeTV with the added bonus of signaling YouTube that your voice and opinion still matters. And if you're looking for more great conservative content, check out one of the 2 videos suggested here. And let's go, Brandon.